farm. So this is a picture of my barn, August 26th of this year, 3 days before I turned 50. Yeah, how about that? This is a 30 by 40 pole barn here. This is actually my shop where all my equipment is for the farm. Tractors, trucks, diesel. Back here is a 30 by 40 barn that's got all the hay in it. And on Sunday night I come out and there's just this blaze. Right? I mean, I've never heard anything like this. It's just insane. And so the fire trucks are coming. And I didn't know this at the time, but while the fire trucks are coming out to put my fire out before it gets my house, the siding was actually melted the siding on my house, even though it's 100 feet from my house. Okay, how's that? I mean, I never feel anything like this, okay? And they get a call, a 911 call from the gated community across the street, an elderly community, or elderly retirement community. And there's a young man over there who they say needs medical attention. He's delirious. He's, you know, whatever, on drugs, or he's having a psychotic break or something, but he's just talking about having been in this barn that's on fire. And they're saying, oh? Yes, and his feet are burnt. Oh. Bad guy, meth head. Good guy, Reverend Dr. Rick Patterson. Okay? Man of the cloth. I'm not even sure really what that means. I need to find out what that means, man of the cloth. But and people have asked me or challenged me, aren't you mad at this guy? Aren't you frustrated that it all went up because of this one moron, right? And I'm able to say, I personally actually know what it's like to battle psychological demons. Probably not to that extent, but maybe close. Close enough that I don't wish it on anybody, his battle. I may have a battle in front of me fixing this, but it's nothing compared to the battle he's going to live the rest of his life. I know what it's like to live the temptation of addiction, to soothe whatever's going on in your psyche. I know what that's like. And I would not wish that on anybody. And as I'm processing this young man, I hear and see and envision Jesus speaking to the Father. And what does he say? He doesn't even know what he's doing. His battle is so fierce, this is not about me. Jesus says, I have put on that flesh, and that is tough. That's grace, and it's true. You see what I'm saying? That's grace, and that's truth. So then I see Jesus address the Father again, and I realize this is psychologically questionable. And I hear him say, but that one, pointing at me, that one knows better. That one knows better. When I came outside my door of my house and I saw that and heard the roar and felt the heat, first service didn't do so good at this. Let's see if you guys can do better. I asked them, what was the passage? The immediate thought that came into my mind was a scriptural passage. What was it? You guys can do it. Guesses count. It's okay. What is your name, sir? Ben. Ben? Yeah. If I had a prize, I would give it to you. Okay? Roy, give him that $100 that I gave you earlier. I walk outside. We spent forever first service, and nobody got it, all right, Ben? So obviously you've spent 7 years in deep theological training. So I walk out of my garage, and I see this thing going up in flames, and the scripture in my head is, don't store up for yourself treasure on earth where moth and rust destroy and thieves sneak in and steal. This one knows better than to do what he's been doing. This one knows better. And the thing is that I realize people will say it's just stuff, right? You can replace stuff. But you know what you cannot replace in this? Huh? Time. Time is irreplaceable. The time I could have spent pursuing my call, the time I could have spent with my family, the time I could have spent with my Lord, the time I could have spent with, it's gone. In an obsession to build for myself a kingdom on earth. And then I see Jesus say this to the Father. He knows what he's doing, but he's trying awful hard. He's trying awful hard. And I think his heart is pretty good. So maybe if we just do something to get his attention, okay? Maybe we can get him back. Maybe we can get his attention again and help him realize what it means to put up treasure in heaven and not on earth. What if we can do this? What if we can, because he's worth it. And you know what that is? That's grace. And what is it? That is grace and truth, because he's worth it. He's screwed up. He's worth it. So I walk around the back of my barn, and this is my scene from the back. Now, I don't just have a cross in my backyard, okay? But this is the front of the barn now. This is the back barn that already burnt. So this is the last remaining post and what's left of a gable truss. And I'm sitting there with the next day with my daughter and my son-in-law, my two daughters and one of my son-in-laws, and this picture's floating around. Everybody's sort of sending it out, and now there's smoldering ashes, but the cross is still the only thing left standing, really. And we're debating what it means, right? And one of my kids says, "Oh, it means that Jesus just loves you, and that he's going to take care of it, and he's going to put your barn back. He's going to rebuild your life." And I'm like, my other daughter says, "I think it means don't make me come down there again." That's grace, though. You see what I'm saying? That is grace. That is grace too, and it's truth. And how does he know that? Because he has been in my flesh. He knows what it feels like to try, right? He has felt the weakness of the flesh. So that he could say to the Father, he's just lost. But I think we can get him back. That's empathy.